gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Off the Dome show. I'm your host, Thomas Brown Jr. on the ones and twos, as always. Here with you every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you so much for joining me on today's festivities and shenanigans, if you will. This episode is going to be kind of short. Well, knowing me, who knows how long it will be. But there isn't really a whole lot to cover. So it's going to be a lot of NBA talk today. And obviously at the end, before we head out, a special message for all the months out there, and mine included. So let's get right into it, man. First of all, let me make sure I have my megaphone for this. What the hell is going on in the NBA playoffs? I repeat, what is going on in the NBA playoffs? I am lost for words for how a lot of these series have gone so far. Obviously, you don't want to press the panic button on anything, right? But some of these games, the way that they've ended lately, have been nothing short of shocking, surprising, appalling, and just downright insanity. And whether you squeak by and get a win like the New York Knicks that's up 2-0, or you decide to find a way to get the job done on the road like the Pacers. I mean, literally, I think the only series right now that is even remotely comparable is obviously the Thunder and the Nuggets series, and their game 2 was over before I could even finish saying game 2. So it's been crazy. It's been very crazy with how the NBA playoffs has gone so far. Obviously, last night we saw the Warriors get dismantled by the Timberwolves, who came out on fire to start off the game. They came out with the right amount of intensity. They came ready to play, which is something that game 1 shared a totally different story about. So that was pretty cool to see the Timberwolves win pretty convincingly. Don't let the final score. Well, actually, the final score does kind of depict how it went. Just it's kind of crazy just how this has been. But just to speak on last night's game, obviously the Timberwolves won in convincing fashion. Warriors had no Steph Curry. But my God, Anthony Edwards had a little ankle injury scare. Fought through that, came back in the game. He was fine, it looked like. We have Julius Randle, who showed up. Jaden McDaniels, who's been an unsung hero, honestly, throughout this, throughout the playoffs for the Timberwolves so far this year. And Alexander Walker having 20 off the bench. I mentioned on the weekly dose, this space that we do every Wednesday morning, where I had said that I think one of the most incredible things about the NBA playoffs that I've learned so far is how important depth is. Like, you can't just have a couple superstars and then a bunch of nobodies and expect to beat these teams. Like, you have to actually have multiple guys that can contribute, that can play defense, that can facilitate, that can score, that can play, you know what I'm saying, that could be effective no matter what environment, no matter what circumstance. And they're equipped and ready for it. And I think another example of that was how the Timberwolves played yesterday. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 guys were in double figures. You know, I know that doesn't sound crazy, but when 2 of those 5 guys are coming off your bench, like, that's a spark that usually turns the tide on how games will go. So I just think seeing that yesterday was incredible. Obviously, there, you know, the Warriors being without Steph, like, you know, there's only but so much you can take away from the game yesterday. But just seeing the continuity, seeing the depth, the strength of the depth being shown by the Timberwolves last night was incredible. But that's the series that is tied 1-1. Okay. So we're going to negate that. We're going to negate the Nuggets and Thunder series for a second, because that, you know, despite how game 2 went, has been, you know, entertaining in its own right. And I think we'll see that again tonight when they play each other in Denver. But this Knicks and Celtics series, man, I just... I don't know. Like, I don't know what to really make of it. Like, okay. I'm stuck on the fact that in both of these games, if you were to tell me, okay, if you were to tell me that, hey, the Boston Celtics are at home, it's the playoffs, they're playing against the New York Knicks, and they're going to be up by as much as 20 before heading into the fourth quarter in both games, I would have easily told you that the Celtics are up 2-0. I'm wrong. They're not. They're down 0-2. 2 games where they blew 20-point leads. I mean, the first game, one would think that you would stop shooting threes when you realize that you can't make them. You know, you try to get threes by, you know, getting and ones and get a little bit more aggressive going to the paint. That was not their forte in game 1. Okay. Well, let's see. How does game 2 go? Well, how does going 10 for 40 from the 3-point line sound? Not good. 25% as a team. Now, I know everybody is going to get on Jason Tatum, rightfully so. Let me make sure I make this perfectly clear. Rightfully so. But I mean, guys, this is it's driving me nuts, because when you look at the stat sheet, like, I don't even think it tells the full story, honestly. I don't. I'm seeing Tatum, who went 1 for 5 from 3. Al Horford 0 for 5. Derek White went 3 for 11. Jaylen Brown went 2 for 7. Peyton Pritchard went 3 for 9. Like, seriously, like, what is going on? And now, of course, you know, the argument that I've been seeing a lot since since game 2 is that, hey, you know, if the Celtics just make their threes, then, you know, game's over. Wanted to worry about them, you know, coming up short or having to go down to the wire, because all those made threes basically in the game. And that sounds great. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But that didn't happen. And I'm sorry, that can't happen moving forward, because the New York Knicks are a team that do not care how they win. They are not a sexy 3-point shooting barrage, flashy dunks type of team. This is not how the New York Knicks play. They will win by any means necessary. And it's really shown a lot during these playoff series, but we've always kind of known that to be the case when it comes to a team that's led by Tom Thibodeau for sure. But they don't care how they are winning these games. They can win it by shooting a bunch of threes, which hasn't happened successfully on their end either. They can win it by defense. They can, wow. Like Brunson only had 17. Josh Hart scored the most points. And by the way, like I mentioned last week, the Knicks have been playing literally, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 guys throughout the entire game. It's like the rest of the roster does not exist. PJ Tucker doesn't exist. Landry Shamet doesn't exist. Precious Achua doesn't exist. Let me see, who else? That's it. Like these guys who are getting, or should be getting playing time, especially in the playoffs, are not sniffing the floor at all. And and I said it last week, and we've been saying this for years, man. When it comes to Tom Thibodeau, it will come to a point where these minutes that your starting five is playing will come back to haunt them. And there will be, and I hate to say it, but it's literally the way it goes because I've seen it happen time in and time out. Someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get hurt, and it's not going to be pretty. No one's going to like it. It could be a Brunson injury. It could be a Hart injury. It could be an Anunoby injury. We all know Mikal Bridges for being an Iron Man because he just never misses games, but something can happen to him. So it's like literally out. Like literally the starting five, the lowest amount of minutes that's been played in the starting five in game 2 was Karl-Anthony Towns, and he played 35 minutes. Like, that's a no-no. But they're up 2-0, so maybe I need to shut up altogether, which is fine. But if they expect to have any source of durability moving forward, they gotta spread the minutes out, in my personal opinion. And take the weight off of Brunson, just the whole starting five. Just, it's not illegal to actually utilize your bench. Just saying. But that's with the Knicks and the Celtics. Then you have the Pacers and the Cavaliers. Now, this series has been kind of weird, and it's kind of hard to kind of put in a perspective on how to really view this series in particular, because the Cavaliers have been without, let me make sure I look at this properly. So in game 2, they were without Mobley, DeAndre Hunter, and Darius Garland. Okay. Let's go back to game 1. Game 1, they didn't have Garland, and that was it. So Garland was the only guy out of their starting five. And I guess we're realizing more than ever how important Darius Garland is to the Cavaliers in terms of how he sets the pace up properly for the Cleveland offense. But I don't know what to make of it. Do we just sit up there and say that, hey, the Pacers are getting away with it because they're just, they don't have injuries to worry about, which is the case. I don't know. I seriously don't know. But these are 2 games. Well, the first game, Pacers just kind of ran away with everything. But in both games, Cleveland was up by multiple possessions. And here they are. They're down 2-0. And on top of that, all this happened with the Pacers being on the road. Now, I'm not saying the Pacers are anemic to win on the road. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that the way that they have been winning these games during the playoffs has been, it's been incredible. I ain't gonna lie. Halliburton has been, you know, consistent in the clutch. You know, oh, let me make sure I put this out there. Overrate that. And they're playing as a team. Game 2, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in double figures. And Halliburton didn't even score the most points on the team. So it's very evenly spread out as far as how they're scoring the ball, how they're playing well on defense late. And it's been shown in both games just how they kind of tighten up when it's time to matter the most. And it's been incredible. It's been really incredible to see that. Now, I don't know how this, you know, I don't know how much they can sustain this moving forward with them getting, you know, having these close calls, you know, close games being won. I don't know how you can keep getting away with it with a team that, you know, in Cleveland that's still being led by Donovan Mitchell. And I mean, we'll see what the reports are, but hopefully they can get at least Mobley back. Garland too. Like, sprained ankle, sprained thumb, sprained toe. It's a lot of sprains going on in Cleveland. So it'll be interesting to see tonight how Cleveland responds on the road. Basically, their backs up against the wall because, I mean, if Cleveland's down 0-3, it's only a matter of time before the Pacers wrap it up. Because if there's one thing I know about the Pacers, they don't really play with their food for too long. So let's hope they don't go up 3-0. But at the same time, hey, both the games have been great. Come from behind victories all over the place. It's been fantastic. It's just kind of shocking because you have the number 1 seed in the Cleveland Cavaliers down 0-2. You have the number 2 seed who's down 0-2 to the New York Knicks after they've blown both games with having 20-point leads. It's just, it's incredible. It's insane. This is what makes playoff basketball interesting and so much fun. Now, if you've been betting during this playoff series, during this NBA playoffs, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry if you lost a lot of money. And yes, I'm saying this. No, I didn't lose much because I have discipline. But this playoffs has been insane, to say the least. Yeah, y'all let me know in the comments what y'all make of the playoffs so far. Very curious to know. But before I get into my commemoration, if you will, for Sunday, we got some commercials for you with your name on it. So we'll see you in a few moments.
In 2006, we founded Yeti Coolers with a simple mission: build the cooler we use every day if it existed. One that was built for the serious outdoor enthusiasts rather than for mass discount retailers. One that could take the abuse we knew we'd put it through, out in the field and on the water. One that simply wouldn't break. We decided early on that production innovation would come from necessity and first-hand experience, not from market research and data analysis. Today, Yeti products perform when it matters most. Whether that be an excursion into the remote Alaskan wilderness, chasing redfish on the Gold Coast, or just getting together with friends in the backyard, we make gear that helps you stay out longer, travel farther, and live harder. #built for the wild.
and gentlemen, welcome back to the Off the Dome Show, hosted by yours truly. And again, we do this every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, with so much fun. This never gets old. I love doing this. It's a lot of fun. So, before we get out of here, though, obviously, Sunday is Mother's Day. So I want to start off with that already. It's going to be a lot of applauses going on. So shout out to the fact that Sunday is Mother's Day already. Okay. So Mother's Day is a very special day for a lot of reasons. And I don't know what everybody's relationship is with their parents. But it's one of those things where they're so precious, and you know, you don't want to take them for granted. Okay. And that's how I've always looked at it in terms of the relationships I have with my parents, specifically my mom, and my dad as well. I mean, they're the ones that help shape, this crazy guy over here, that y'all are listening to every Friday. So those relationships are very important. And I want to take these few moments to, shout out not just the mothers who, are parents of their own children. I want to give a special shout out to the mothers who are mothers to children that aren't theirs. I want to give a special shout out to the single mothers who, for one situation or another, they are encountered with so much extra scrutiny and pressure to get the job done for the sake of their kid or kids. A lot of things that they go through behind closed doors that, no one would really understand or take the time out to listen. I just want to give a special shout out to them. And this is for me. I want to also give a special shout out to the mothers who have allowed, graciously enough, because those decisions aren't easy, but have allowed them to help out with their kids, regardless of how big or small, regardless of how long the time may be. It takes a lot of boldness to take the accountability and understanding that you can't do everything on your own, and you would crash out if you tried to. And I just want to give a special shout out to the mothers who take the accountability, to take the willingness, actually, and the vulnerability to take the time out to allow others to help them. Whether it's in a mentorship setting, if it's it's a boyfriend or whatever the case may be, just them taking the boldness and allowing them to be involved in spite of, and that's something that shouldn't be taken for granted. Talked about. And I just want to give them a special shout out. So shout out to y'all. Well, I've thought long and hard about this one because a lot of times I don't really know how to do these things. I'm gonna do my best here. Mom, if you happen to be watching this, this is for you. Our relationship over the years has put us through a lot, emotionally, mentally, sometimes physically. Not in a negative way, but just a lot. And there were a lot of times where I made decisions that you weren't proud of, that you didn't agree with, couldn't stand, couldn't tolerate. And a lot of times I find myself being like, why? Like, why, why can't it, why can't I do this? Or, what's wrong with this? Or what's wrong with that? And a lot of those times I'm reminded of how much that you love and care for me. How much I mean to you. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. I could call you, you'll answer. Over half the time, you're tolerating me being corny for a few moments, and it makes your entire day. You've done a lot by me, and a lot of it I don't even know about. And I feel like a lot of times you don't get your just due for all the sacrifices that you've made. Knowingly and unknowingly. And is greatly appreciated. It truly is. And and I think our bond specifically is so strong because, as you've told me in the past, when I was born, when I was in the process of being born, it was a very heavy decision that had to be made, where the doctor was like, it's either gonna be you or him. And I'm grateful to say that to this day we're both still here, and we're both able to be a part of each other's lives. And I greatly appreciate it. All the highs and lows, all the biggest congratulations to even the disappointments. You've seen me at points and places in my life that were not beautiful, that I did not want the world to see or to be a part of. And you shielded me from that a lot. And you did not have to. But you did it anyway because you loved me. And it takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes a lot of love for you to do all that you have done for me and for your family. And for you to do it since day one, with no manual, with not a whole lot of people you wanted to trust. The list goes on and on. So many different opportunities to where you could have failed, you didn't. And I thank you beyond anything else, not for what you've done, not for what you're doing, not for what you're going to do, but simply for who you are as a parent. And there were a lot of times where I felt like I didn't do my best by you, or felt like my best wasn't enough for you, and I would feel like I would let you down, or feel like I disappointed you. And some of those cases were actually true. And in a lot of those cases where parents could have every right to kick their child to the curb, whether it's morally correct or not, you continue to encourage me. You continue to speak life into me. You continue to stand by my side. And not very many people, whether by blood or not, would take the dedication and the heart to do that. And you don't have any care in the world. You've done it so many times that, quite honestly, I feel like I shouldn't count because I would just go all day. But from the moment that I've entered this world to where I am today, it's not really possible without you. All the sacrifices, all the hard work that you do behind the scenes that you don't want to tell us about, you don't want to tell me about, because, you know, that's just what you do. That's who you are, or whatever the case may be, or you don't want us to worry. You do it anyway. And just really appreciate that. Sitting here at 23 years old, going on 24 in a couple months, in a whole new state that's not close to you. I know every single second that goes by, you worry. And I also know that with every second that goes by, you actually trust me and you love me well enough to believe in me, in everything that I do, in everything that I stand for. And that's something that I'll carry with me no matter where I go, no matter what I do, no matter what circumstances I may face, no matter how good the times are, no matter how bad the times are. And I really appreciate all the hard work that you do that I don't know about. That's the real important part that I'm getting to, because I don't know. You don't like telling anybody. You don't like being in the limelight. You don't even like me doing stuff like this, but the same way you don't care, I don't care. But I thank you. And obviously you mean the world to me. And even though I'm not there physically to give you a hug and to give you flowers on Sunday. I hope that you know and you understand and you recognize in your heart that you have a son that appreciates all the hard work that you do, that he doesn't notice. And it means the world to him. So I thank you. I love you. I don't know how you can be a Saints fan today, but in fairness, I appreciate you sticking it out even after the Drew Brees era. Which, in case anybody was wondering, is not good. But thank you. Thank you for all the life lessons that you taught me, that you allowed me to experience. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. And just thank you for, even if it wasn't comfortable enough for you to do it, you still believed in me. It may have been tough love a lot of times, and I may not have taken it well or handled it well, but it's greatly appreciated. And told myself I wasn't going to cry, so I'm not going to. I think I did a pretty good job. But happy Mother's Day, Mom. And again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers who take the time out to support and be there for their children and all the sacrifices that they make behind the scenes that no one knows about for the sake of making everything work. It doesn't go unnoticed. I pray it doesn't go unnoticed. It's greatly appreciated, and it's something that your children will never forget, because I know I'll never forget about mine. And even a bigger shout out to the mothers who are no longer with us. Thank you for leaving a legacy, an example for other young women to follow moving forward on how to do it the right way and how to handle it correctly, how to handle it with grace and handle it with patience, and to do it all with love. So thank you. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This has been a very special episode of the Off the Dome show. We do this every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to check out our content on our website, it's at teamnbsmedia.com. Again, it's teamnbsmedia.com, where there's articles flying left and right. Actually, one of our very own, Rick, and I checked it out a little bit before I got in here, has an article for those who, could have forgot to get them something, knowing that it's Sunday. He gave a little guide on what gifts to get mom, and hey, maybe you can pull it off in time. I hope. I really do. But yeah, check us out on all of the platforms that we have: Instagram, TikTok, X, here on YouTube. Team NBS Media. We have content that spreads throughout all different types of sports, entertainment, lifestyle. The list goes on and on. We branch off into any and everything. So we thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you for all the love and support that y'all have given, whether it's by watching me be crazy for an hour or being able to watch any and all of our content throughout the week. We greatly appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed. Give us a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and again, happy Mother's Day. We love you. We thank you. We appreciate you. All the stuff that y'all do, both knowingly and unknowingly. See y'all next Friday. Love y'all. Happy Mother's Day.